For the second time in a week, a high-profile celebrity has taken their life. Police in France say Anthony Bourdain, the TV chef who took viewers around the world, hanged himself in a hotel room. Nikki Batiste has the details.
Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain was found dead in a French hotel room this morning after taking his own life.
The history of the world, as one chef told me, is in this plate. It's telling a story, often a very personal one, a very old story.
A longtime host of Parts Unknown on CNN, the network says a friend found the 61-year-old father unresponsive and confirmed his death was a suicide. In a statement, CNN said, "His talents never cease to amaze us, and we will miss him very much."
The whole business model, the whole system that I came up with abhorred waste, encouraged us to make the most of every ingredient.
Bourdain's suicide comes on the heels of Kate Spade's, and one day after new research by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows a spike in suicides across the country since 1999. The biggest increase has been among people in the same age range as both Bourdain and 55-year-old Spade.
Middle-aged Americans, and particularly white men and women, their rate has risen the most, between 50 and 65%.
Dr. Christine Moutier is Chief Medical Officer for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. She says a person's success or a celebrity life does not make them immune to despair and depression.
Suicide actually does not discriminate. The truth is that every person, no matter what their status in life, is human at the core of it and will face these kinds of struggles, and sometimes, ironically, it's our own identity and our self-perception that might keep us from seeking help.
Bourdain was twice divorced and leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.